What's going on, y'all? I'm here. I'm live, and we finna get started. Settle in. Settle in. Thank you so much for your patience. Happy Thursday. I will be right with you. right. All right. Let's get this thing going. This is a quick one, so don't move.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Loving this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Peace, world, peace. Welcome or welcome back, baby. Speaks. I am aka the Trillionaire Goddess. That's right. Or the $1 trillion Goddess. $1 trillion mindset. That's what it's all about. So just trying to spread the love. Let everybody know that, you know what? There are no limits. Go where you want to go. Do what you want to do. Just do unto others how you would like them to do unto you. Okay? Yeah. So I'm here quickly today to update y'all on your boy R. Kelly. Bone Jean has put on her cape once again for this guy to use her platform to, let the masses know that the BOP, the MCC, the BOP, the MCC, the DOJ, all these agencies have been neglecting your boy and his health issues, which are seemingly spiraling downward at this point. So Wayne's like, I don't give a guilty, guilty, guilty. Speaking of Wayne, hi Wayne. Thank you for being here. Yes, Wayne is a true soldier. The sweetest peach popped in, I see. Tabitha Lester, yes. Who else hopped in here this morning? It is still morning for me, 10:48 a.m. Purple. Yes, good to see you. Okay. So yeah, let's dive right on in, child. So I guess I'll start with R. Kelly's email. Okay. I don't want to ever hear again he's illiterate. Okay. I have blood clots. So this is supposedly from R. Kelly, sent yesterday to his people. The subject is blood clots with exclamation points. It says, I have blood clots in my whole left leg because I was supposed to have a cast removed from my leg in 2 weeks. But the cast ended up staying on my leg for 2 months. My leg was in so much pain that I took a walking cane and beat the cast off myself. But I told one of the nurses here a month and a half ago that it felt like blood clots. And she told me it wasn't a blood clot and sent me back to my cell where I was in severe pain every single day until I went to the outside hospital for a checkup. And I told the doctor about my pain that I was having in my whole left leg, and they ran a test on my leg, and come to find out my entire leg had blood clots from the bottom all the way up to my waist. They told me it's a good thing I came in when I did, and they kept me in the hospital, but I was only there for 6 days. I wish they would have kept me there longer. I'm only speaking out on this matter. Wayne, I got to take your guilty down. On this matter because I am still in a lot of pain. These acetaminophen 325 milligram tab is not working. And I'm very, very concerned about my health. And this is no offense to the MCC, but I just know that it would be a lot better if I was in a hospital where I could be properly monitored. Pray for me with several exclamation points. So yeah, listen, all jokes aside and all that, blood clots are really not no joke. Like, I actually experienced that. Well, I felt the pain and I'm gonna blame the vaccination. Yeah, I succumbed to it. I did, against everything in me that said don't do that. But I went to my acupuncturist, and I have a picture actually what came out. But yeah, she got me right real quick. Sure did. And plus, I do internal healing as well. So let me knock on something and pray to Jesus that I'm good to go forever, because it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was not as bad as what he's describing. So if what he's describing is true and accurate, then yeah, he's been suffering. This is called suffering. What's going on, Queen? Yes. What's wrong with him? Well, okay, so I just read this email he sent out yesterday. You probably saw it because I know you be in these YouTube streets too. But yeah, he said he has blood clots and that he's been basically his health issues and care haven't been handled properly. His health care, he feels he's being ignored basically. He said his entire left leg had blood clots from the bottom all the way to his. You know, I can imagine. I can't even imagine the pain if it's really from the bottom to the hip up to the waist. That's a painful situation. All that said, like I said, it is called suffering. He is suffering right now. Yeah, he's going through it. So he sends this email out. Looks like yesterday. And at the same time, his lawyer, Jennifer Bongine Law Group, went to her Twitter account and she posted this letter that she sent to the Department of Justice. She tweeted, "The MCC will be held responsible for medical negligence." All right, so she wrote this letter on the 28th, so just a couple days ago, March 28th, 2023. She wrote the letter to Robert W. Steele Jr., U.S. Department of Justice, and he's with the Federal Bureau of Prisons, MCC Chicago, on Van Buren Street in Chicago, okay? Legit. Regarding Robert Kelly, period. Okay, no booking number, or no, what do they call those numbers? The inmate number? None of that, just Robert Kelly, okay? Could be a couple other Robert Kellys in there, but she's just gonna put that because he's that nigga. And y'all not treating him right. Do you not know who he is? I'm gonna let you know who he is, and I'm gonna let you know who I am, okay? Because what happens to me, or at least when he tells the public what's happening to him, that I got to show up for my client, to show people what I can do, show people how I roll. But yeah, if he never told me he was gonna go public with it, y'all wouldn't be hearing from me. But let's hear what she had to say. Dear Mr. Steele, I'm writing to continue our conversation. Actually, I think I could do better. That I don't know if that's better for y'all, but let me read this letter. Dear Mr. Steele, I'm writing to continue our conversation from the past week and demand that my client's medical needs be addressed immediately. As you know, on March 20th, 2023, I sent you an email expressing my grave concerns about Mr. Kelly's continued pain and worsening symptoms related to his prior surgery. Mr. Kelly failed to receive competent post-operative care at the MCC. Indeed, after Mr. Kelly's surgery, he was fitted with a cast to protect the incision site. That cast was supposed to be removed after 2 weeks, but the MCC failed to follow this directive from his treating physicians. Mr. Kelly repeatedly asked the medical staff at the MCC to remove the cast and check the site of his surgery. His requests were continually ignored. Eventually, Mr. Kelly was forced to physically remove his own cast. which I previously stated was absolutely unacceptable. In the past couple of months, Mr. Kelly has complained repeatedly of pain and asked if the MCC medical staff examine the source of his leg pain. Mr. Kelly even apprised MCC medical staff that he was concerned about having blood clots in light of his family history. Again, he was ignored. On March 20th, 2023, I was forced to raise these concerns with you directly. My understanding is the same week, last week, he was brought for outside treatment where it was confirmed that he had blood clots in the leg where the surgery was performed, likely related to the negligent post-operative care he received at the MCC. Blood clots are life-threatening complications that should have been monitored from the start. Mr. Kelly spent nearly a week in the hospital during which he was denied access to me, his lawyer, and his fiance, who was desperately worried about his well-being. Mm, mm, mm. I appreciate that you informed me that he was obtaining treatment at a hospital, but it is entirely unacceptable that he was denied the opportunity to communicate directly with me. I emailed you yesterday to inform you that I remain concerned about his condition, and you assured me that the MCC was handling his medical needs. I am not convinced. I spoke with him today, and he sounded unwell and complained of terrible pain. Miss Savage has also informed me that she met him today, that he looked terrible, and that she was gravely concerned about his health. Mm. The MCC/BOP has a constitutional obligation to provide competent medical care to all inmates. MCC has failed to do so with respect to Mr. Kelly. Had Mr. Kelly received competent post-operative care, these complications would not have occurred. We fully intend to address these harms through the appropriate administrative and court processes, but I have immediate concern about Mr. Kelly's health and safety. He should be promptly returned to the hospital for continued care and monitoring by competent medical personnel. Sincerely, Jennifer Bongine from the Bongine Law Group, child. So, let me come back over here to y'all. Yeah, it is a serious thing, but yeah, so that was the letter that she sent and as well as made public on her Twitter page. Oh yeah, please like, share, subscribe while you're here. I know you can't see the like count, but I can, and so can YouTube. So I would appreciate that so much. Thank you very much. And subscribe if you haven't done so. Comment as well if you're in the replay, and don't be shy to come in this chat and say hi. All right, so this letter, child. Let's get into this letter. So first and foremost, looks like she's been in communications with the Robert Still Jr. Who is Robert Still Jr.'s role here? Is he the head guy? So she's been in communications with him for about 10 days as of today about this situation. But according to Mr. Kelly's email, this has been going on for months. So I'm just curious as to why she took this long to make this public and to make this stance on his behalf. If he was in such danger, he had to remove his own cast with a walking stick. I mean, do you know how? I don't know if any of y'all have had a cast. I've never worn a cast, but I know I've signed a few signatures in my day on a cast. No, but casts are pretty. Well, I guess they're different textures depending, but that's some hard something to bust right there. Is that something you're supposed to be doing while you're in jail? Taking these types of things into your own hands? He was supposed to be observed and all of that and treated after a 2-week follow-up. And he said it took 2 months. Seemed like your leg be ready to fall off by that point. That is just kind of disgusting, actually. Can you imagine the stink in that thing and what it looked like? I mean, what kind of living is that? I'm sure he couldn't sleep well already with the stress. He said that this, all this BOP stuff, the BOP has become, his main enemy. Okay. Because every source of his issue is a complaint to the BOP. I'm very curious as to whether or not all jailed people, write these letters on a daily basis or a regular basis, I'll just say. And how many of these letters does Robert W. Steele Jr. receive, or the Bureau of Prisons in general, and the Department of Justice in general, with regard to inmates and their issues, whether it be healthcare, dietary, I guess it all goes up to healthcare at the end of the day, but safety in general and things like that. I would be curious to know how many of these inmates have an attorney who has such a, big, I would say big following. I don't even know actually how many. Let me look on her Twitter. I'm curious. How many followers does the Bonjean Law Group have on Twitter? She ain't got that many followers. She has 1,326 followers, 1,326. I'm not sure if I don't know if she has a personal one. The one I saw didn't look like it was her. But with that said, she might not have a lot of followers, but she has a lot of eyes on her platforms. People are just funny about following. They'll come look at your shit, but they might not follow you. You know what I'm saying? So she actually blocked me on my regular account. So, the whole cockroach situation during the trial, that didn't sit well with me, and she knew it. So back to this letter and what's going on with R. Kelly. Now, what I'm getting here is that first and foremost, he's not somebody who typically takes care of his business when it's supposed to be taken care of. He's always seemingly on the back end of the situation after everything blows up in his face. And now I'm going to include this health situation too. I don't know, how serious it is for them to get the proper care, to get the attention they need if something's wrong. But I do know that between a 2 week and a 2 month gap is a long time to have a little a funky ass cast wrapped around your leg after a surgery. What's going on with the medical staff? I mean, I don't know. Anybody work in the prisons or the jails? How bad is it? Is it that bad? And is he just being a Karen? Is he just acting like a privileged celebrity? So she said that, he was fitted with the cat and he was at the hospital for, this procedure, but he, was just basically ignored after that. The point where he had to physically remove the cast himself. Now, if this is all going on, this is the first email. The email that I showed y'all, that's the first one I've seen with regard to his health in that type of critical SOS that he's putting out. But if it took 2 months, where was all of this before then? Where was all of this? What was he? Why wasn't he speaking out? And come to think of it, he's been making all these phone calls about the BOP email leaks and my ex-girlfriend flipped on me and they made her a star witness and all of this stuff, right? Has he said anything about his lack of health care? I've been in pain for 2 months. I've had this cast. I haven't had treatment. Did we hear any of that come out of them phone calls? It seemed to me your health would be your priority. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm calling bullshit, but I'm calling right now B. And I might put an S on it by the end of this live. Let's see. So what else does she say here? She's like, this is unacceptable. In the past couple of months, He's complained repeatedly of pain. So, past couple months, like I said, is a long time for somebody like R. Kelly, who vocal lately, and even Bonjean, because she doesn't hesitate. She doesn't hesitate to speak something on Twitter, speak her mind, speak out against something. Like even the bloggers on YouTube, she talks to them directly through her Twitter, and she knows the people are going to pick this up and put it out there for her or for him. So she puts everything on Twitter. And has she said anything about this prior to today, prior to this week? That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't sound right. So now she's saying, I've been dealing with, basically, I guess she's been dealing with other people, but this person here, Robert Steele, she's saying, I was forced to deal with you directly on this. So um maybe there was more communications going on prior to this, but this is the first time we're hearing about it. So he wants to go back to the hospital, is what it sounds like at the end of the day. You know why? Because he's probably got some privacy. Maybe not, but it's probably a better environment for him. I could see him. They might have a TV up in there. He's laying in the bed, propped up with a sippy cup. You know what I'm saying? The nurses are probably going goo goo gaga over him, male and female nurses. He's got it made in the hospital. He wants to go back to the hospital. Okay. He said they only kept me for 6 days. Okay. I need at least a 7-day vacation from this bitch. Send me back. Love warrior. Yes. Kells kept that cast on past time, then cut it off strategically, trying to find a way to make some noise and sympathy. Exactly. Great minds, girl. Like you stated, Goddess, why didn't Bone Cockroach address this immediately? Right. You know why? Because she could give two fucks about R. Kelly. I'm sorry, excuse my language. I know I don't usually, but I'm just saying, like, she don't care. And she does what she has to do on a minimal basis for him, in my opinion. I don't think I posted this yet on my community wall, but I know when I went live yesterday on the member channel, catch that live. Um, I was talking about how Haynes's attorneys have officially filed his appeal. And this was announced, I think, yesterday. I was like, well, damn, that was fast. And I don't think R. Kelly has done so yet. He's filed the notices of appeal, but not the actual appeals. But it could be that R. Kelly's situation is just a lot more. There's a lot more to it. So, I know that there are deadlines for that coming up. But yeah, Tory Lanez's appeal is already filed. But yeah, he's only, let's see, R. Kelly was already in for what, probably 3 years or so before Tory's trial. So I don't know. I just feel like Bonjean is just taking a laid back approach to R. Kelly's defense. Obviously, we can't see what she's doing behind closed doors, but I also do see that she's doing a whole lot of other stuff with a whole lot of other clients. So, well, Wayne, nothing wrong with his leg. Nothing was wrong when he was messing with them children. Child. Whew. What I'm telling you, though, the man is going through it. He is suffering. He is suffering. Just know that. When I say BS, I just mean as far as the way things are actually being handled. Like, I feel like he did not and does not take a proactive step or steps to things in his life. He just doesn't. You can see that he doesn't. What happened to the Lifetime lawsuit? Or even the lawsuit against our guy Jim Derogatis. And what about there's so many what abouts with him, but this, I don't know. Seems like a grandstand. Let me pull his email up again. Now, dealing with blood clots, like I said, yeah, that is painful. And the fact that he supposedly couldn't even walk right, stand upright. He's going down bad. He's doing bad, y'all. So whether or not his pain is extreme is as extreme as he's saying it is, um, he already had other health problems before this situation, before that surgery. Remember, he had that double hernia. Um, he had something going on with his toes or his foot, diabetes or pre-diabetes, and now he probably has all the way diabetes. I'm thinking probably even some dental problems too. So, he's moving, he's getting what he was giving basically in life, in my opinion. Y'all, we call this karma. But what I'm saying is that the pain he is suffering is the pain that comes back the way all things do. What goes around comes back around. Queen Brielle, hi, did anyone ask or did anyone say he looked like he had pain at sentencing? That was within 2 months he mentioned in his email. I don't know about the sentencing, but I do remember there was something where he appeared. Maybe it was sentencing where they were saying he was limping. I remember that. Did any of his super fans say he had a cast on his sentencing and a cane? Yeah, I don't remember hearing about that. I do remember hearing about a limp. I'm not sure about the cane and all that. Can they have a cane? Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's like a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Yes, if you just came in, please check out the replay. Leave comments below. Thank you, Wayne. Wayne be on it, y'all. All right. Well, listen. What else am I here for? I never talked about the 4 million or the money that Heather Williams. Let me pull that up real quick. But what do y'all think about this? Going through what he's going through. He's got all these battles going on. Did you catch Bonjean mentioning his fiance, Miss Savage, in the letter? Let me go back to that too. Like, what is that about? Wait. She said that Mr. Kelly spent nearly a week in the hospital during which he was denied access to me, his lawyer, and his fiance, who was desperately worried about his well-being. So he was denied access to me, his lawyer, and his fiance, who were worried about him while he was in the hospital. Isn't he a prisoner? I mean, I think jail just kind of works like that, right? I mean, it's giving, duh. I don't understand what this is about. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's being a definitely, what do we call a black male Karen? Because he sounds like a Karen. Well, Bonjean is a Karen. She's a Karen to the nth degree, using her law degree to cape, throughout America, using her Karen voice and her Karen platform. This is just, to me, just whining, belly aching. Like I said, how many other inmates are going through this type of thing where, they're not being attended to right at the snap of a finger or on the drop of a dime when they need some attention? I mean, don't get me wrong, I do agree that he should get the proper health care, as they all should being the operative word here. There's a whole thing about the injustice within the prison systems. That's been going on for so long, probably since prison has been a thing. There are a lot of advocacy groups. Um, Even some of these YouTubers claim that that's their whole mission. But R. Kelly, the Pied Piper for the inmates. Maybe that's what this is. Because I'm gonna tell you this: if the DOJ opens the door to R. Kelly by Bonjean forcing her way through it, they're opening the door to a lot of other issues from other inmates. The other inmates are going to come busting through that door as well. So I don't know if that's his plan. I doubt it, because he's a selfish motherfucker, and we know that. But yeah, his fiance was desperately worried about his well-being. Then on the other page, she said that the fiance, Miss Savage, she said, "I'm not convinced. I spoke with him today and he sounded and continued unwell and continued to complain of terrible pain. Miss Savage also informed me that she met with him today, that he looked terrible, and that she was gravely concerned about his health." I'm curious, can we actually get camera footage of Miss Savage visiting? Can we get that proof of life that her dad's been, well, actually, we've all been looking for? Show us the footage. We want to see the footage of her in MCC on that visit. Joycelyn, why don't you ask Joycelyn, who so many people would actually listen to and want to hear from? Why don't you ask Joycelyn to help advocate for her fiance? She should be on her Instagram live. She should be on Twitter. If this is such a serious matter for him, wouldn't she not do that for him as a fiance? As far as I know, he's the only one in jail. I think that actually Joycelyn coming out and speaking on his behalf with Bonjean, and not just Bonjean alone, would have a greater impact, at least on the public side of things, because that's what it looks like she's doing, is kind of pleading also to the public for their help, because she knows they got the Winbushes writing letters, and all of these people, the Sylvias, they all have their own armies of people who follow them and do what they say, right? So why not add Joycelyn to that group? And why R. Kelly never mentioned this on none of his phone calls? Sounds to me that during the time he's been doing these phone calls, he's also in a lot all the way up to his waist with blood clots in his left leg, or whatever leg it is. Did y'all hear him sound like he was in pain, like, sorry, Storm, oh, my leg. He ain't said nothing. And I would think, again, that would be more important, his health, than the BOP leak thing, because without that leak thing, it's going to go away anyway, because you're going to die. And Bonjean said it anyway in her sentencing memos and all of that. Probably, how many times did I count? 5 to 10 times. That this man is going to die in there. We know that. So why give him a lot of time? He's going to die in there. He's going to die. And he said it too. I can't breathe. I'm in a grave. They burying me alive. And that's what this is screaming too. I'm about to die. I'm going to die soon. I need y'all's help. So he's calling out to the universe exactly what he wants. He wants to die. He does. That's what he's given. So let me see if I have this article up about the Heather Williams. Excuse me. He's going to die, Michelle Nolan. Everybody is. We are human beings. Hi, Nia. Nia Mexican Rose. Nice to see you. But welcome, Michelle. Thank you for your input. Yeah, proof. Show us the footage. Mogul Giant. One thing I can say is she's a good woman for writing for her dude through thick and thin. That if that's how you want to put it, it's not right for any person to suffer with pain and medical concerns while in prison. However, uh, at this point, we question his motives because of all the YouTube and phone, the bloggers, I guess, and phone calls with the BOP. Exactly. Thank you. She wants sympathy for a child predator child. Mm. Not just sympathy. She wants people to jump to their feet, stand at attention for this guy. I don't think so. No, I don't agree with the way you worded how she's just riding for him and she's just down for him, Mogul Giant, because what I'm getting intuitively, energetically from Joycelyn, who has been dead silent for a couple years, is that her silence isn't by choice. I'm not feeling like this is how a normal 20 something will be moving in the world, especially one attached to somebody as high profile as R. Kelly. Um, if Azriel was still rocking with R. Kelly at this point, if she was still hip to hip with Joy, how they were before, do you think it would have been normal for Azriel to be quiet like the way Joycelyn is? Or will we have been hearing from Azriel throughout this whole time while he's been locked up? Would she have not been on her social media talking shit to people and advocating for him and probably doing lives and Instagram reels and stuff like that, right? I think so. I think if and I'm not saying it's a personality thing. I'm just saying that Azriel didn't seem to be somebody who's going to take somebody trying to suppress her, keep her from speaking out and being vocal. She just has that fire. Joycelyn, on the other hand, seemed a bit more. I don't want to say weak, but you know what I'm saying. Easily suppressed. Yeah, I mean, did she turn on him or did he push her away with how he was treating her? I mean, turned on him sounds like she did something to him when in actuality, he was the one doing stuff to her. Michelle, yeah, we're all going to die. I'm just saying it's not right for him, no one to suffer like that. No, exactly. And I agree with you, Michelle. But you have to understand that our lives as we live it, have you ever heard of the power of the word, power of spoken word, power of the mind? So the things that you entertain mentally, the things that you speak, the things that you write, on a consistent basis, you will manifest those things. Those things will come into fruition. That is actually just, you can consider it a prayer. But what I'm saying is that the pattern of his speak and just the things we've heard, that we see the email, the thing that he's been on this train for a very long time. He himself has said, I'm in a grave, I can't breathe. He's calling this unto himself. That's what I mean by that. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, listen, in my opinion, R. Kelly is no victim. Like I said, he is not the inmate who is not being attended to at the drop of a dime whenever I'm in pain. Okay, well, sit down. We got a whole line of people in front of you. Okay, we're going to get to you as soon as we can. We're understaffed or whatever the case is. But he has a Bongine who, is going to make it public and make a lot of noise for him. I want to hear him call Storm Monroe, and I want to hear him talk about his health problems. Wants to on the side, like an appetite. That should be the main course. Your health problems. Tell us what's going on. That would have been a much better phone call to say, "Bust your cast open with a walking stick because you weren't getting the proper health care. I mean, it would be good for him to advocate for the other inmates on this behalf. If he has since he does have this platform, I mean, I'm not saying that, CNN and whatever ABC News is going to be playing his phone calls, but on the scale of, YouTube and social media, he does make noise. So all that to say, you know, listen, I understand the people who support him. This is probably pissing them off and also making them worried and scared for him. But you should have, the emotion shouldn't have, this shouldn't change how you feel. This is not nothing new than what's already been going on. He's been in there for going on 5 years. Yeah, 4 years. And this treatment, he's been getting this treatment. This ain't nothing nice. New. This is nothing new. He's just wanting attention. And I'm going to tell you also, he wants to get back to that hospital. He wants to go back to that hospital and go back to his vacation where he was at for 6 days. He said himself, I was only there for 6 days. I wonder if you ask if he would just say how much time he wants to spend there. I'm very curious. What do you want? A 30-day, 60-day? You know what I'm saying? What is it that he's running from? Good morning, Miss Foot. No matter what, he's guilty, guilty, guilty. Wild Wayne, yes. Queen A, welcome. What child did he M-word? Predator, pedophile don't like older women. How do you know what they like? How do you know what they like, ma'am? Or women who have hit puberty? Oh, you're saying that the term, the definition of a pedo, I wouldn't say predator / pedo. Predator would be separate from the pedo. The predator is a separate act. And a predator, I wouldn't attach that when you say that. It's the definition don't fit him. Okay, well, take the pedo out of it. If you don't feel like the definition fits his behaviors, take it out. But he still, violated minors, abused them, R-worded, child pornography, all those things. He's been convicted, and all those things happen, and then some. So you're saying that you don't think you can consider a 14-year-old to 16-year-old a child? They're not legally adults. So what do you call them at that point? They don't flip-flop. Please do a live on Elvis. Why would I do a live on Elvis? We've talked about Elvis here. What did Elvis do in relation to what R. Kelly has been convicted of? Let me know. Or did he just court and eventually marry Priscilla Presley and have a child and family with her? That was different. And I don't need to do lives on other people because I'm doing a live about R. Kelly. Why can't I do a live about R. Kelly? As you talk about R. Kelly, you also have to talk about this person and that person. And why? That's called deflecting. Marcus Houston? What did Marcus Houston do? Do you mean Chris Lighty? Well, let me just say this, Queen A, obviously you're new here. We're very aware that the world is full of predators, pedos, basically just scum. We can just call them that. We know that. But we've been R. Kelly. You know why? Because R. Kelly is, I would say, the first of his kind. A-list black male celebrity superstar who has been all the way to the top of this game. We have seen him fall all the way to the pits of hell on earth. And that's why he's suffering the way he is, because he is literally in hell on earth right now. You know why? Because what you put out there, you get back energetically. It doesn't mean you're going to get it back exactly the way you gave it, but you're going to feel it the way they felt it. You understand that? So if you don't have a problem with people violating children, if you don't have a problem with people abusing people in general, not just children, just people, if you're good with that, then that's what you're good with. I mean, live your life. You ain't got to come over here and be mad because we're focusing on one of yours. Okay? Tabitha, she's new. Goddess, you what? Run this. Thank you very much. Oh, you're so funny. Queen Brielle, it's America. You can talk about whomever and whatever as long as it's not defamation. Thank you. And I'm just talking about what's happening. This is information that was put out there to the public, and we're reading this information out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just talking about what they're giving us. He gave us that email publicly because it was put publicly. So I have a right to read that and call bullshit. Or even if it's not bullshit, even if the man is in pain and suffering, he's been in pain and suffering since he first went to jail. Even when Steve Greenberg was his lawyer. Remember when Steve Greenberg was doing those motions for, the diabetes, the foot, the this, the that. Remember that? This has been going on with him. Just a different animal. She's probably raising him, I would say, behind closed doors on how he's doing things too. He seems like he's amping things up. Maybe he feels a little desperate. Maybe he's like over it. He probably felt like he was going to already be out by now. Somebody was probably been telling him, you know what, you don't worry about it. You're going to be out of here in no time. You won't spend no more than a couple years. They're going to give you time served. You're going to walk. Don't worry. But now it's sinking in. This is not looking good. I done got convicted and sentenced twice. The books are closed. If you go into Pacer and look up that New York case, it says closed on March 7th, 2023. That thing is done. And at this point, he hasn't filed the appeal. She's filed the notice of appeals because they had a 39 post-conviction, but she ain't filed no appeals. But yet Tory Lanez's attorney has officially filed his appeal. Is R. Kelly, maybe R. Kelly long enough to get the priority that he's looking for? And that's the other difference. If R. Kelly still had all his money, if R. Kelly had the money people think he should have, he might be getting special treatment. We know people get special treatment. You know what I'm saying? We know people, it's race and it's also class, the issue within our country or the world really. But class obviously is ranking based on how much money you got, what tax bracket are you in, and do you deserve to get special treatment or not? And right now he ain't padding enough pockets to get special treatment. Okay. Marcus Houston has been with a 22-year-old woman for 10 years, but married for 3. He was okay. Okay, so he's yet another scumbag. There's a lot of those people out here. What does that have to do with R. Kelly? So I'm talking about R. Kelly. Has Marcus Houston, is he the head of a RICO? Is he the head of a criminal organization? Does he have enablers and handlers that basically helped him to manage his organization, who do his bidding, keep people held, captive, basically keep them from eating, force them into orgies, make them eat feces, urinating all over them? And I say them because there's not just one person in this situation. Like you're speaking on this girl or woman. When we're talking about R. Kelly, we're talking about decades. We're talking about probably hundreds of women. We're talking decades of behavior that is in question here. Not even in question, that we know. Okay. That 2008 trial should have gave him a clue. It's all good, Queen. I'm popping up on your feed. You telling me YouTube is actually on my feed? Okay, well, I appreciate you letting me know that. That's good to know. Yeah, yeah. Speak your piece. It's all good, but just know that I'm gonna respond accordingly. But no, it's all good. I appreciate you coming in here. Yeah. Um. But yeah, I believe Miss Foot, just like Miss Foot said, big difference between R. Kelly and Marcus Houston. Now you can bring Chris Lighty up in here, who was that's his name, right? He was the guy over B2K, you know, whoever else, and they have stories on stories and stories and stories on him, wording these boys and all of that. But he has yet to be even investigated as far as I know. I mean, there's a lot of this going on. We got Trey Songz out here, but right now I think the focus on R. Kelly is too because his history and patterns have been minors. These minors have come out as grown women and testified against this man. There has been videos, there's audio, there's all kinds of evidence. Why hasn't SW raised any concerns about? Yes, yes, exactly. We ain't heard nothing from him about her. We just hearing what we hearing about her is Larry McGee this and Larry McGee that, and the BOP write these letters, but she hasn't said nothing about the man's health. Or is she even talking to him for real? Maybe she don't know. She probably found out just like we did. Bones Cockroach not getting the money, so she's not putting the effort or attention into his case. There it is. Mogul Giant. I don't think he held them captive or kept them from eating in a regular way. Exactly what I'm talking about. Chris Stokes has done, according to the rumors. Now, I don't have anything to say. I don't know about his stuff to the point where I can just say, yeah, I feel very strongly. I do feel strongly about his guilt on that stuff, the rumors. But I don't know enough about him. I just know he needs to at least be investigated. Okay. They need to at least probe him. Probe him like he's probing them boys. Exactly. Money does talk, Miss Foot, and we know that. Yes. So listen, I've been here an hour. So you know that's way past what I was trying to do today. But I do appreciate you. Have another live set up for tomorrow. We're going to talk about how Will Smith has a laughing stock. And now that Chris Rock has shitted all over him on stage, all the other comedians are, I guess, feeling comfortable and cool enough to come out as well. And yeah, so we're going to talk about that. And also Black China's continued evolution. Love it. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Till next time. Bye. Oh, follow my channel, Blaze Adams 24/7 is pinned in this chat as well. Thank you for your support. All right. Thanks.